Hey guys, I'm back. I'm learning how to use this app as we go because I had to download a new the one and the I have to relearn things. If I don't write it down as I go, I do have a college degree in English and French, and I worked for a French chef, but some things you're good at, some things you're not. So as the microwave went out, this is in that Mackenzie Childs pot. This is very, very good, very, very expensive, but things still stick on the top, so I have to be quick. So this already has a lot of these products in it, but when you're redoing even something that's in your refrigerator, reseason. So you see how hot that is? I used to have a Paula Deen induction, and I don't anymore. So I have to do this quickly. So I'm going to redo this. And you know how they say you have to have the best vanilla you have to have what you have. I mean, you don't have to run out and buy extra anything. And you have to have a certain wine. I was trained by a French chef as a French apprentice. And the only person in the restaurant that was a woman working in the kitchen, he had never hired a woman. And I spoke French, so when his wife came back, who was German, and I put the guy on the page, Louis Richelieu from Bon Appetit, she was not happy with him, you know? So, but I was persistent, so he gave me a chance. And he said, Mary Kay, most of the people that asked to be on my page are trying to steal my recipes. I was not interested in his recipes. I had my mother's, I had cookbooks, I had blah, blah, blah. And so you have to do what you have to do. And what I did is I kept after him. See how that bottom is burning? Oh my God. So anyway, when I did the Airbnb too, I would have people there and I'd have them all in the dining room. They always wanted to come out in the kitchen. And I said, do you want things to be right or do you want to be out here by me? One time there was a power outage and we couldn't leave the house. I let them all in the kitchen and cooked for them and tended to them, and I kind of mother people. I had a lot of professionals. I had doctors, I had pharmacists, I had nurses, I had oxygen therapy people. I had a guy who was on a crash cart. He worked in Open Heart. You know, he was talking to his wife one time, and she came to check me out, who I was, what I was doing. And he said he went out and bought 5 pairs of shoes. And I said, why is that? Because if I had soup or I had whatever, I let them eat. But if they wanted something special, they had to pay extra. So anyway, he said he had gone to the shop that was close to us and bought 5 pairs of shoes. And I don't think she was too happy with that. But when you think about it, when they're doing Open Heart, that is 4 hours at least standing on your feet. So, and wearing a lead vest. And he was a big guy. And so he said, well, Mary Kay, is it okay if you book my wife and her girlfriend? And they drove from wherever they lived, and I've forgotten about that. So, but they wanted to be in one place. And I don't know if you realize, but in hospital work, a lot of people don't live locally. They have a contract. And when they have a contract, they contract for a certain amount of time. So he wanted a nice place like mine where if I made soup, he could come in and have soup. He didn't have to go out. You're replacing their home. And he had to leave his wife, and his wife had a huge problem with water suddenly. You know, he was monitoring, he was talking to them. It's just, I think all of us need people to talk to. You don't need a psychiatrist if you have a good girlfriend. So anyway, I'm setting up my plate. And I explained about mise en place, which is prep stuff ahead. So this is sugar-free syrup. This is a pumpkin spice because you save on your ingredients because it's got everything in it. I'm going to turn this off because the bottom's going to be burned. And that's pretty much what I did in the French restaurant. It's close to me, and I've got a big French nose, and I can smell. I can smell when it's burning. So I'm just showing you because my microwave went out. I have been taught to do my best, and Julie Child would say, who's in your kitchen? Who needs to know? So when someone comes in and you have cooked or baked or whatever it is for them, she said, don't apologize. And she's so right. I used to do pie, and I was in a bridge group because the realtor who sold us the house got us in a bridge group because, then you make friends. Well, my mom's pie was unbelievable. So I would have trouble with crust, and I would have trouble with this and that. And when they came in, I was like, you know what? We're going to have to eat this dessert because I've tried it 3 times. Everyone, Paula Deen, says on Thanksgiving she made some dish. She had to make it 3 times to get it right. Can you imagine eating her food? And I did. I was invited to a party at her house, and she chose me to cook in the kitchen with her. And they filmed the whole thing. And after we did the cooking thing, we had to leave her and leave the kitchen. And she has a girl that works for her, and they give her a nickname, Brunhilde. She does the dirty work. She does the things that Paula has to do a certain amount of time, and then we were supposed to go out to the grill, and her son was out there, and it was the most fabulous day of my life. And so when we were done and she could see I was like, why would I want to go anywhere else? I want to stay with Paula. And she started rubbing my back, and she said, you're okay. It happens all the time because you're okay for a long time, then all of a sudden you're not okay. Because she I've seen cooking videos with people from Savannah, and it was a chocolatier, and he was fine for a long time. Then all of a sudden, the idea of doing a video live or doing anything with Paula Deen, I can tell you, it's a dream come true. There were women who sobbed and cried in the room, and I was okay forever until I got in the kitchen, and I had to leave her. I was like, so anyway, this lady who is absolutely fabulous, and she works with Paula now, and she has an assistant. So those are the only people that are doing it. Now here's milk, and you could pour milk over it. I don't do that. I don't add salt. You probably would want salt because everything tastes better with salt. But I cut salt out last summer because, we're old. Salt makes you retain liquid. So anyway, here's my garnish. And so, see, there is that in there, but you see the color of that once you cook it? So I'm going to add fresh over the top. And I can tell you the trick. I went to Cordon Bleu, took my grandson. You know how they say the alcohol cooks out? So at the end, you use fresh alcohol. If Paula is always, I'm going to serve this to my grandkids. You never know who's going to come in. But we were at Cordon Bleu. It's right on the Seine. Because I told my grandson, someday I'm not going to be around, Logan. And you'll have that Cordon Bleu. And there's his, and here's mine. And I paid for it all by doing Airbnb. I paid for everything myself. Because I always told him to take him to Paris. So I don't say things I don't follow through with. And Louis would have a French chef come in and make TVA. I don't know if you realize, what that is. But anyway, it's puff pastry. And I'm telling you, those men were masters. They would make it in no time at all. And what Louis would do is bring the kids into the kitchen and give their parents a break. And I would be making pastry or whatever I was doing. And I love children. So I would one at a time let them help me. First I would demo, then I would let one of them help me. And I believe in rewarding children. So they know they're going to eat whatever it is you're making. I was a school teacher as well. and ran my husband's dental office for 40 years. But anyway, here we go. So that's the end. And you can choose to put that Manuka honey, which I don't add sugar if I don't have to. And this is sugar-free. Once you get to an age, you hope you took care of your body to begin with, and you have to be serious about taking care of yourself. So anyway, this is sugar-free. So I drizzle over. I made yesterday on my French Everything page an omelet. And what I do is put butter over the top and a little bit of sugar. And most chefs have tricks, and they will do it when you're not looking. And yours will never be as good as theirs. My mother also made pie, and towards the end of her life, she gave me the secret to her pie crust, because she taught us girls how to make, my sister and I, pie, right, and pie crust. But her trick was, you made her pie crust, right? And I can give you that someday, not today. I should have had this open, see? I'm doing the butter. But I do all this alone. So what I do is put the butter on. And usually it's better to do like this. This is cold from the refrigerator. Can you see that? This is the hardest thing in the world to do, because I'm not showing you what I'm doing. And it should be room temperature, blah, blah, blah. I have a great crepe recipe where you don't have to wait and let it sit. I'm going to share all my secrets. Because I don't believe, like Martha Stewart and Paula Deen, they don't have secrets. And she did a video the other day of blooming onion. Oh, no, it's today. And I was making huge money selling her small appliances on eBay when I went to see her. And I brought gifts for her, gifts for her son. The thing is, we were all there, pleased as punch. So this is honey butter, because one time while I was at my gardening group, and a Jewish girlfriend of mine brought this to a hygienist's home, and my husband was a dentist, and I ran the office. I was a ward secretary at Riley. I never became a hygienist. I had trouble with science. So anyway, this Jewish girlfriend brought this, and we were all like, what is that? Honey butter. And it's not inexpensive, so it's better. So there's the butter, and it's going to melt in. There's a nice little French restaurant down the street from my daughter's. How lucky is that? So, and right now, you would sprinkle over sugar if you wanted to. It's not necessary. And the joy of eating at home is you will make things to suit your family. And my son-in-law does most of the cooking when he's home, because my daughter has 5 children, That is enough of a job. So I'm going to take this off. And my daughter said to me, I spent the day with them on Sunday, and she said, Mom, how do you like that? I used to make carbonara for her for breakfast. We lived across the street from the school. But the point is to get your kids to eat. It doesn't matter what they eat, as long as they eat. So they shouldn't go with an empty stomach. My mom was an absolute gem. I'll show you the picture of her and my dad. There she is. They got married in the middle of the Depression. It's why I say we all have to press on with life. I mean, look at her. Her first boyfriend, who she was going to marry and had insurance and all of that, died suddenly. He got outside of a car and he was on the roadside, and boom, gone. So then she was out dancing, because that's what they did in the old days. They had places all around Chicago. She was from a small farm in Illinois, and she had left home at 14. So she knew my father's mother. And he was out in California, and so was his father. They were painters, and they took decomposed granite. Now, some days I can remember that, some days I can't. But look at him. He came home and fell in love with my mother. He called her his dream girl. In his 80s, in his 90s, my sister and I would go out to lunch with him. He bought something for my mom's birthday at this little Koret shop, Koret. And so we took him to lunch, and we were talking to him, right? And he started talking about my mother because he had bought her so much. And we said, Dad, we let him buy whatever he wanted, you know. And when he was not with my mom, he once bought me, when I was in college, 2 jackets. He said, you like them? I'll get them both for you. My mom was in charge of the money. But they adored each other, adored beyond. They would do anything for each other. And that's the kind of romance we all want, isn't it? See that face? She was a beautician. And he had left and gone to California to make money to save their home. You know, and they sent it back to their mom. They lived in a building in Hammond, all brick. And so instead of her living there alone, she took in roomers. And they sent her money, and it's a romance. You know, that's why I have that advanced French romance, because I'm writing that story like a novel. I don't have time to sit down and write it, so it's online too, if you want to look it up. So I hope you enjoyed today, and if there's a certain kind of video you'd like to see, please just let me know and I'll do that. I usually fly by the seat of my pants, you know, and I try to give you, I will never say I'm going to do something and not deliver, as long as I wake up in the morning. Okay, so I'm going to go now, guys, because I've had such a trouble, you know, getting this to work. I hope this will go through. And if you have comments, please leave them. I'm going to share this several places, like on my regular page, which is a food blogger page, in Mary Kay Jasinski, Jasinski. That's where I started, food blogger. So I'm going to see you guys, and let me know if you like it or you don't like it, okay? Bye-bye.